My name is David. I grew up with social anxiety and lost 2 decades of my life because I let social anxiety control my life. But after working on myself and exposing myself to people, I got a bunch of lessons. I wish that I had these videos in our channel so that I was able to overcome my social anxiety years ago. And if you want to be less anxious around people and just be good at talking to people, this is the right channel for you. It's November of 2023 and I'm working in this restaurant. I'm helping the bartender make some drinks and organize the bar. Once I'm done helping him, I walked up to this girl to have a conversation. Super beautiful and attractive. She's working as a host. So she's basically the ones that tells the customers, oh, welcome guys, or here's your table, here's the menu, and all of that. So I had to go all the way to the front to talk to her. So I did. I walked up to her and I said, hey, what's up? We started talking and everything, and we ended up talking about my ex because she knows my ex. And she said, if your ex-girlfriend ever comes here, I'm gonna be like, hey, get out of here. David is only I am her girlfriend. When she said that, I was like, what the fuck? This girl is so pretty. Everyone is like, dude, she's so cute. I want to be with her. And this girl is flirting with me. She's flirting with me, telling that I didn't care. I was like, oh, really? After that, we continued talking, and then I left because more customers arrived. I talked to my brother about this, and I was like, yo, you're not gonna believe what happened. Dude, you shoot your shot, bro. But insecurities and social anxiety kicked in. I was thinking, what if people think she's too pretty to be with me? What if I meet her parents and they don't like me because I am Mexican? What if she meets the real me and gets bored and leaves me? So I decided to not say anything. 8 months. 8 months passed. And it's July of 2024. And after working on myself and approaching strangers and girls and improving my social skills, I was like, okay, I got this. I'm gonna ask this girl out. I went up to this girl and I was like, hey, do you like books? She said, yeah, I love books. And I was like, awesome, because I wanted to invite you to Bars and Novels. And she said, oh, I was actually there today. Which one do you go to? Oh, I go to this one, the one that is at the mall. And she said, oh, that's cool, I'll go to that one too. I'm reading this book. And then she sent it to me. And I said, awesome. So what days are you free so that we can go to Bars and Novels and we can chat and have a good time? And then she said, David, I got a boyfriend. The girl that I really wanted, the girl that I thought that she liked me, rejected me. The thing that shocked me the most is the way that I faced and managed the rejection. It did not affect me at all. Of course it hurt. Of course I felt weird. But I remember that when I was younger, when I was a little kid, this rejection would have fucking destroyed me. And would have made me feel like a piece of shit and I don't deserve love. And because growing up, rejection was something like, oh, fuck you, I don't like you because you suck and you're a loser. That's what a rejection meant to me. This is why I would never be able to confess my feelings to girls, because I would, about she rejects me, what about she says no. This is how I went from I won't confess my feelings because she's gonna reject me to getting a bunch of rejections and be like, it doesn't matter, I'll do better next time. And this was literally me yesterday, right? So like rejection doesn't affect me anymore. I'm able to like just get rejected and just move on. I don't take them personally and they no longer affect me just like they used to. And it's because I learned 3 great ways, basically mindsets, that make me feel free and proud even after girls reject, what had really been super helpful for me and how I face pain now. But the first one is, what does this really mean? Let me go back to where everything started. The first rejections that I got as a kid. I remember that this happened when I was a kid. I think that I was probably 10 at the time. So I confessed my feelings to this girl that I used to go to church with. And I remember that church just ended, and after weeks of waiting and wanting to approach this girl, I finally went and approached her. I was like, I like you and I think you're beautiful. She said, ew, no. And then she left. That shit right there destroyed me. I was thinking, oh my gosh, she said no because I was anxious and awkward with her. Oh, because my teeth, they look weird and they probably look yellow. Oh, maybe my clothes, I look weird with these clothes. And I remember that after that, it turned super awkward and super weird. Every time that I would go to church, she would not go to the area where the kids were playing because I was there. She sometimes would not go to the kids class because I was there. And at the end of the church, they would always put like food to like basically give out and all of that. And she would not eat at church because I was there. This is what my 10-year-old version didn't understand at the time. Notice these things, right? I was thinking that she said no because I was anxious. I was awkward with her. My teeth, my clothes. She would not go to the area where the kids were because I was there. She wouldn't do X, Y, and Z because I was there. How everything has to do with me. Their rejection had to do with me because there was something wrong with me. Oh, my teeth, my clothes, my tone. And then she would not do things, or she would do things because of me as well. So everything had to do with me. That's the 10-year dumbass version of myself didn't understand. And this rejection affected me because I took it super personal. And I thought that everything was done because of me, because I am the problem. And this is super common, and if you have social anxiety, you might have the same thing. I would make a huge list of the reason that she rejected me and everything that had to do with me. My tone, my this, my background, maybe because I'm boring, maybe because I don't have anything interesting to say. He said on his book about social anxiety, he said, social anxiety comes from an idea that you're not good enough as you are. This idea is not the truth. It's just a thought that you have been taught. This means that social anxiety comes from the belief that people will not like us because of something wrong and something that they will say. And this is why we take things super personal. So instead of making a big list of the reasons that she rejected you, ask yourself, what does this really mean? And this is what just happened to me. I applied of the rejection that I just had. Instead of listening to my anxious thoughts of, oh, she rejected you because you're Hispanic, because you're Mexican. Oh, she rejected you because of the tone that you asked her and how you asked her. She rejected you because she can tell that you're a loser, right? Instead of listening to my anxious thoughts, I thought to myself, what does this really mean? 8 months have passed and a lot of things have happened. Well, maybe she actually has a boyfriend, or maybe she's talking to someone that I really likes. And the thing is, this question not only helps you after you get rejected, and it has helped me with friends, with people in general, and this has helped me to be less anxious, because this would happen when I would go on a date, right? And the girl would be on her phone. What does this really mean? Well, maybe she actually needs to be on her fucking phone because her mom is upset, right? She needs to be on her phone. But then my mind would interpret that as, oh, she's on her phone because she's bored, because you are not interesting, because you're a loser. Or my friend, if I am on a car with my friend, right? Once again, this is an anxious brain. With my friend, and he would turn the volume up of the music. I'd be like, oh, she's turning it up because he is bored as well, right? So the more that I was able to listen to my rational brain, rather than listening to the anxious part of my brain, I was able to just enjoy people more, just be more myself, just be less anxious. So that was the first one. What does this really mean? Now, the second thing is, it's a game of numbers. I was running an agency in the past, and this has really, really helped me to face rejection somehow, and shifted the way that I see rejection. Basically, I would hop on a Zoom call with business owners, right, with contractors, and I would help them to get more clients, right, the price and everything, so they can be like, oh yeah, let's move forward, I'm gonna send you the money, and then you can help me to get more clients. I had 4 sales calls, and 4 of them said no, right? I got rejected. They said it's either too expensive, I need to think about it, I don't think that you can help me. And this really made me frustrated, and I wanted to quit because I suck. So I paid this guy that basically, he's a salesperson. He's gonna show me and teach me how to get better at sales, how to get more clients. And he said something that really shifted the way that I see rejections now. He said, in sales, you usually need 5 sales calls in order for you to get 1 client. This means you need to get rejected 4 times before you get a yes. And when he said that, I was like, oh shit. I changed the way that I saw rejections. Rejections is a part of the process of getting a client, of getting yeses. So not every person that happens on a Zoom call will turn into a client. I need to increase the volume and the amount of sales calls that I'm getting so that I can get a client. Not every person that happens on a Zoom call will turn into a client. I need to increase the volume and the amount of sales calls that I'm taking to be able to get a client. Now, let me change this. Not every girl that I talk to will turn into my wife. I need to increase the volume and the amount of girls that I'm talking to be able to get a girlfriend. Just because I got rejected one time when I was a kid, it doesn't mean I should stop. And this is what I eventually did. I got one rejection. Fucking one. Just one freaking rejection. And this made me stop and be like, oh, I suck at talking to girls. Because the reality is, if I continued talking and speaking with girls when I was 10, maybe the second one was gonna be like, oh, David, I like you too. Maybe I was gonna get another rejection. Maybe the third one was gonna be like, David, I like you too. Or the sixth one, David, I like you too. The thing here is, no matter how many rejections or no's I would get, if I just continued asking, I would eventually get a fucking yes. A fucking I like you back. I know that for people that have social anxiety and just like me, a rejection really affects us, right? Because we make the approach a huge event. We think all day long about what we're gonna say, how we're gonna say it, what words we're gonna use, what would be the perfect moment, and we start to think about all of this. And this is why it affects us a lot, because like, oh shit, I prepared myself for this thing. I really wanted it to happen and it didn't happen. But understand that, just like I said in the first tip, there will be a lot of factors and a lot of things that you cannot control that will make her to say no. This is why I no longer take rejection personally, because I understand that it's all about numbers. If I approach 10 girls today, I will get at least 3 yeses, right? So maybe 7 are gonna reject me, and then I'm gonna get 3 phone numbers or Instagram, whatever the case is, you name it, right? Because it's all about a number games, right? That's why it's like, oh, this girl said no and the other one's gonna say yes. It's like, I don't take it personally. Oh, thank you. Oh, I have a boyfriend. Oh, not thank you. Okay, just move on to the next one. I remember I approached this girl at the gym. Her name is Leah. She was working on her leg. She was basically doing leg extension. So I approached her and I was like, hey, my name is David and I think that you're beautiful. And then she said, no, thank you. I have a boyfriend. And I said, okay, all right. Take it as a compliment then. I went to ShopRite literally after the gym and I saw a pretty girl there. We made eye contact like maybe 3 times. When I went to get peanut butter, she was in that hallway as well. When I went to get milk, she was by the fridge. You know what? I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I put my stuff away and I went up to her. She was looking at the ice cream station, so she was looking at one of the ice cream. So I went to the fridges and I grabbed an ice cream. I was pretending that I was looking at it. As I got closer to her, I looked at her and I was like, excuse me? We've seen each other a couple of times now. I feel like it's the destiny trying to tell me something. When I said that, she started laughing super hard, right? And I said to her, my name is David and I think that you're cute. What's your name? She gave me her name, I got her Instagram and everything. I put the ice cream away and I said, okay, I guess I can stop pretending that I was gonna grab the ice cream. And then she started laughing again. You see how a rejection doesn't mean anything? It doesn't mean that you suck. The same day, I went and approached another girl and I got her Instagram. Right? It's all about a number games and you gotta shoot as many shots as you can, because yes, I have gotten more rejections than yeses, because that's the game. I'm gonna get more no's and yeses, that's guaranteed. But the thing is, the more that I approach, the more no's that I get, I'm noticing that I'm getting better, meaning that every time that I talk to a girl, I'm getting better. I'm getting 1% better every time that I talk to someone new. And I actually get excited to talk to them because it's like, oh, last time I had a good experience with a girl. The second thing is, I no longer feel anxiety because like, oh, I got rejected 10 times already. This is not gonna affect me. And the third thing is that the more rejection that I've been feeling, it makes me somehow stronger. So now I'm like, oh, I wanna get rejected. Now I just take action regardless of the outcome. And I feel like that's something crazy that I've seen, especially me. I grew up with social anxiety, so I would never be able to do that. Now I see that as just fun. It's like, oh yeah, I got rejected. Oh yeah, I got this. I got her phone number. It's just like, you just gotta shoot as many shots as you can. The more that you'll be able to face rejections in a better way and get better at talking to them. And the last one is actions, not outcomes. Using the same story that I just told you. When I approached this girl at the gym, I just finished working out. So basically I just finished my routine and there was a bunch of people around here. So I guess that all of this made me a little nervous and anxious. So guess what? When I approached this girl, my hands were literally shaking. I was nervous. And she eventually saw that, right? And we can say, oh, I got rejected because of that, or you name it. But the key here is, instead of beating myself up like I used to, you're so awkward with women, you suck at talking to people, you see, this is why everyone thinks that you're a loser. Instead of beating myself up, I was like, you know what, David? Fair enough. That wasn't your best performance. And she said, no, yeah, maybe because you were nervous. But a few months ago, you would never ever be able to do that. You cannot control your body or how your body was reacting. In this case, it was anxiety, but you can control your action. I know you did not want to do it. I know that you were scared and nervous, but you did it anyway, and that's what it matters. So the best thing that I can do after a rejection is to celebrate the action, not the outcome. Meaning, I have to focus on what I can control. What I can control is my actions, but I cannot control how the other person feels or thinks. So the more I acknowledge that I have the balls to take action, the more I can be like, damn, I can do it again, because I'm focusing on the action that I can control, not the outcomes. This is something that I've seen and I've been like proud of. I'm like, god damn, I think it was Friday, I went to this bar and it was like there was like a dancing floor and all of that, and it was really lit, and I feel bad for them. There's some guy just standing there, just grabbing their beers, right, just like this, and they just look super awkward, just looking at the hips and the ass of the girls, and they're just scared to approach them. And it's like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I don't want to be like that, man. So I was like, look, okay, who's the hottest girl here? Where are the prettiest girls here, so that I can get rejected, so that I can face my fears, right? Because I didn't want to be like them, right? So it's like acknowledging that all that it takes is balls, and you had the courage and the balls to approach the girl, and maybe it wasn't the best, maybe you were anxious, maybe it wasn't a great performance, maybe she rejected you, but at the end of the day, you had the balls to approach them, and that's all that matters. So instead of being like these guys that are just looking at them and just like looking at their ass, just approach them and be like, oh yeah, what's up? And the more that you do it, just like I said, the better you become and the less it affects you. So those are the three things that has helped me as an anxious person to basically be free and be able to approach the girls. Is, what does this really mean? Always ask yourself this question. Understanding that it's a game of numbers. You're most likely to get no's, and that's totally okay. And what matters is the actions, not the outcome.